Hi, we're Eureka Consultants, and this is our San Diego State Capstone Design Project. For our project, we designed a roundabout for the intersection of State Route 67 and Highland Valley Road. My name is Elizabeth Anderson, and I was the project manager and in charge of the hydrology portion of the project.
Hi, my name is Matthew Madrill, and I was in charge of the proposed roundabout geometrics and traffic analysis.
My name is Greg Dunn, and I handled the transportation part of the project.
My name is Gary Frankhauser, and I'm the project's geotechnical engineer.
Hi, my name is Patrick Larkin, and I was in charge of the construction and environmental portions of our project.
My name is David Willis, and I was in charge of the stage construction and budget for the Highland Valley intersection.
The intersection on State Route 67 and Highland Valley Road is a signalized intersection in the city of Ramona that is currently subject to various traffic problems. During peak hours of travel, the intersection frequently becomes congested, prompting vehicles to become backed up for miles. Combining the excessive queuing with the numerous driveways, intersections, and blind curves along the traveled way produces a variety of safety hazards for both drivers and pedestrians. Previous attempts have been made in order to mitigate the aforementioned conditions, however, little to no success has resulted. State Route 67 is a two-lane rural highway as classified by the California Department of Transportation. Within the project area, SR 67 consists of two 12-foot through lanes with 8-foot shoulders and is signalized at the intersection of Highland Valley Road. Highland Valley Road and Dye Road are both two-lane roadways that are classified as community collectors in the County of San Diego Mobility Element Network. Within the project area, both roads consist of a through lane, one 12-foot turn lane, and an 8-foot shoulder in both directions. In order to meet the needs of the existing and projected traffic conditions, a two-lane, 180-foot inscribed circle-diameter roundabout was selected for the SR 67 and Highland Valley Road, Dye Road intersection. In addition, the proposed design also increases cyclist and pedestrian safety. The roundabout contains ADA-compliant curb ramps, as well as ramps connecting the sidewalk to cyclists who may not feel comfortable or safe traveling through the roundabout.
The level of service is a qualitative methodology that measures the operational conditions within a traffic stream and drivers' perceptions of the roadway conditions. There are 6 LOS thresholds designated A through F, with A being the highest level of service and F being the worst. LOS takes into consideration travel time, speed, maneuverability, traffic interruptions, comfort, safety, and convenience. Peak hour volume was used to identify the current LOS. As one can see from the table, the existing intersection usually operates at an LOS of F during peak hours. According to San Diego County, this is below the acceptable LOS of D during peak hours. The roundabouts have the following safety benefits over traditional intersections: reduced fatalities, reduced injuries, reduced collisions by eliminating left turns, reducing vehicle speed, and reducing the angle of impact, and increased safety for pedestrians. The proposed roundabout was then analyzed in terms of roundabout capacity, lane estimations, delay, and collision rates, all based on a volume calculator. The roundabout capacity is summarized in the table seen. Based on a peak hour volume of 1,562 vehicles per hour, the proposed roundabout is deemed sufficient. Lane estimations are based on a peak hour volume, and as the table shows, a 2-lane entry will likely be sufficient. As the delay table shows, for a peak hour volume of just over 1,500 vehicles, the delay drops from 14 seconds to 1 second. Based on the collisions figure, the number of collisions decreases by about 15% with a switch from a 40,000 average daily traffic intersection to a 40,000 average daily traffic roundabout.
No soil testing was found to be done for this project in the area surrounding the intersection. Our geotechnical assessment and our subsequent pavement design was based on estimations made from a soils map of the area that revealed a sandy loam soil type in our traffic analysis. The scope of the earthwork needed for this project is not substantial. Some grading and clearing of shrubs and other natural features may be necessary, but only in a small scale. As with any manipulation of earth material, this change can have adverse effects on the project site and the surrounding area. It is our opinion that these changes will be negligible.
Details concerning technical, economic, and environmental characteristics that have guided project elements that were incorporated to enhance the project and meet regulatory compliance requirements are included. The design features of the roundabout are included to positively benefit the area. Specific design features were incorporated to create a project that was responsive to the existing community atmosphere, as well as future planning efforts in the area. In addition, this project must be in accordance with federal, state, and local laws, regulations, and policies. All factors were taken into account as this project was outlined and designed. Various environmental impacts cannot be avoided, however. The project coincides with pertinent transportation and community plans for the city of Ramona. There are no coastal or scenic impacts created by the project. Thus, there are no issues caused for the human environment. In avoidance of any potential problems associated with the construction of the roundabout on bicycle traffic, it is important that mitigation measures to ensure safe bicycle access points along Highland Valley Road and SR 67 are maintained. Alternative access will be permitted in the case that existing access points are removed during construction. Appropriate safety concerns will be met during the construction process. Due to the nature of this project, being specifically transportation, demolition, and rebuilding in the same location, land area is not substantially affected. The area being developed is flat graded land with no development. In addition, the proposed project accounts for increase in population and traffic flow based on growth projections in the coming years. As a result, the roundabout will accommodate not only the present traffic, but also the expected traffic in the future. Thus, impacts caused by growth are not a concern, resulting in no mitigation measures being necessary for the physical environment. Soil along SR 67 and Highland Valley Road contains various concentrations of aerially deposited lead. Although the lead is not in hazardous concentrations, it is necessary to be aware of the health concerns associated with aerially deposited lead. In addition, mitigation measures are necessary to dispose properly of the excavated asphalt exposing soil containing lead. Although farmlands comprise much of the area of the city of Ramona, the project location is not affected by farmlands, and there are no wetlands affected by the proposed redesign of Highland Valley Road and SR 67.
The first step in the hydrology portion of the project was the drainage study. In order to complete my calculations, I had to use the San Diego County Hydrology Manual rational method. First, I developed a watershed and got soil and land use data using the ArcGIS computer program. I analyzed the data and found that pre- and post-construction had flow rates of 314 cubic feet per second and 315 cubic feet per second. This creates an overall change of 1 cubic foot per second over an over 11,000 acre watershed. The second step in completing the hydrology portion of this project was the technical water report. Although the changes in the flow rate Q were negligible, a technical water report was written to determine if there would be any conflicts related to the increased runoff created at the project site. After researching all the aspects of the project area, it was determined that there will be no long-term effects, but there will be BMPs that have to be implemented during construction. The third and final step in completing the hydrology portion of this project was the design. Because there's negligible water added to the street runoff and it was determined that there is no change in flow, the current structures are capable of meeting the requirements of the new intersection. The only issue is that the designed roundabout is so large that it covers the existing inlets on the southwest side of the intersection. I went out to the site in order to determine how to best address this problem. Looking at the pictures shown on the slide, you can see the existing structures in that portion of the project. You can see that the water flows off of the road into an inlet and under the street. It then flows through a bioswale, down Highland Valley Road, and into another box culvert where it eventually flows through and spreads out into the meadow. After visiting the site, I put all of the information into the HEC-RAS program. It was determined that with the post-construction slope Manning's N and calculated Q value, a new structure similar to the existing one can be placed 20 feet southwest of the intersection to avoid pooling in the street. Because of the design of the inlets, the water will pool out into the meadow rather than pooling into the intersection.
Approximately 160,000 square feet of land must be acquired from the corner lots at a total value of about $302,000. While permanent attainment of neighboring streets is not required, it is important to note that detours must be established to reroute traffic during the construction process, specifically during Phase 1. Construction will also take place at night, resulting in detours only being required during night hours Steel plates will be used to cover the intersection during daylight hours, allowing for traffic to travel at a slower speed on the original roadway. Access to SR 67 from Highland Valley and Dye Road will be closed off. Highland Valley Road will be detoured onto Highland Valley Court, and Dye Road will be detoured onto Carnation Road. Because a small portion of Highland Valley Court is still a dirt road, rumble strips will be required at this specific location. Traffic on SR 67 will be allowed to run through the intersection, however, it will be limited to only a single lane in either direction. During Stage 1 of construction, signs will be posted along SR 67 notifying drivers of construction underway, as well as signs notifying drivers of the Highland Valley and Dye Road detours. Construction will progress through completion of the northern one-third of the roundabout as well as the southern one-third simultaneously. At this time, all necessary curbs and cement work will be completed at this phase of construction. During the second phase of construction, traffic from SR 67 will be diverted onto the newly finished sections of the roundabout with one lane in either direction. During this phase of construction, the center one-third of the roundabout will be constructed through completion. During the third stage of construction, which will be the shortest stage, it will consist of striping and completing the roundabout for traffic, as well as opening the finalized signs to control the traffic. The center island of the roundabout will also be landscaped, and the Welcome to Ramona sign will be placed at the center of this island. The budget for this project has been calculated to be about $9.2 million.
Well, that does it for us here at Eureka Consultants. Thank you for listening.